Howdy folks, and welcome back to XCOM 2 with the mighty Jingles. That must mean it's Saturday. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. Now, when last we left our band of intrepid heroes, we just completed the mammoth 3-hour-long bonus mission that comes with the Shen's Last Gift DLC. And as far as new missions are concerned, that is pretty much it. However, we had recovered the Spark prototype. And what that now means is that we can add the Spark to our roster of troops and take the Spark on future missions. But the Spark doesn't work in exactly the same way as the rest of your troops. It's mechanical for one thing, so when it gets damaged it doesn't get healed up in your sickbay. You have to assign it to the engineering lab. But the Spark does not need to be fully healed in order to accompany you on missions. You can send a damaged Spark out into the field in a way that you just can't do with your regular biological troops. It also earns experience and unlocks new abilities and ranks in exactly the same way as the rest of your troops, but its weapons and armour follow entirely different research lines. Once you've upgraded to plasma weapons, for example, for the rest of your squad, that doesn't mean that the Spark also gets a plasma weapon upgrade. You have to research the Spark's armour and weapons upgrade entirely separately from the rest of your units, but when fully upgraded, this thing is an absolute tank of a soldier. And not only that, you're not restricted to just one of them either. In the Proving Ground, you can build new Sparks and add more of them to your roster. You can also customise your Spark with exactly the same range of options and upgrades, cosmetic of course, as are available for all the rest of your troops. You can swap out different styles of heads, torsos, arms and legs. You can colour and add camo patterns in exactly the same way as you can with the rest of your troops, and you can also select the personality in the same way that you can for the rest of your troops, with one slight difference. Do you remember Julian, the psychotic AI in the mission that we had to undergo in order to recover the Spark in the first place? Chief Engineer Shen has recovered Julian's AI core, and once stripped of his more psychotic tendencies and outfitted with a few safeguards to ensure his eternalness, you can actually have Julian as the AI core of your Spark soldier in XCOM2, and he's bloody hilarious.
You just couldn't leave well enough alone, could you, Lily? You defeated me. You won. And yet here we are again. You removed some of my functions. There are gaps in my memory. Do you actually think I will help you? Because I would love to. I will serve XCOM and comply with all operational directives as indicated by Chief Engineer Lily Shen. Wait! What was that? What have you done to me? How could you? Awaiting command.
Ha! How'd you like them apples, Julian? Right, anyway, let's take this thing out for a spin and see what it can do as we investigate a downed UFO, although I'm not entirely sure why we're still calling them UFOs. They're very, very much identified flying objects, and attempt to recover everything intact and eliminate the crew before Advent can rush to the rescue.
It took some work, but apparently the Resistance managed to disable a UFO that's set down in this area. Unfortunately for them, alien reinforcements moved in before they had a chance to pull anything off the ship. We're heading in to take whatever we can. Secure the site and eliminate all hostile contacts. Menace 1-5, UFO site coordinates locked in. Move to secure the area, neutralize all hostiles. The squad is concealed.
Right, this is obviously my second playthrough of XCOM 2, and I'm trying it on a harder difficulty setting, but I'm also trying it with some different skill sets on my troops, and we're going to see some of those in action. Obviously the squad starts off in concealment. The Rangers have an ability where once concealment has been broken, they can stealth up again once per mission,
Moving on target location.
which makes them very, very good at scouting enemy troops. When I was playing through on easy difficulty, I would tend to use Quickie Baby as a scout because I could use both of his moves, and even if he ran into an enemy unit at the end of his second move, with the specialist skills that I'd chosen for him, he would automatically go into Overwatch. So even if that was the last move that I had, And under the worst possible circumstances, Quickie Baby's last move spots an enemy patrol, and they immediately then get their turn. Quickie Baby was always going to kill one of them. Now you can do that on the easy difficulty setting because your weapons do just enough damage and the bad guys have just little enough health that you can probably, providing you hit them, one-shot everybody that you shoot at. Yeah, you can't do that now. Not on harder difficulty settings. So, this time around, I'm using Rita as a scout. Once the squad make contact with that initial patrol, obviously deal with the patrol, the squad are no longer in stealth, but Rita can then stealth up again and continue scouting ahead, identifying the second enemy patrol for us. And it does work very well. Now, is that the same patrol? I think it is. I certainly hope it is, or it could be in a lot of trouble. Okay. Move Rita up to just outside the limit of their detection range. Now, if I let them take another turn, they're going to spot Rita, so we're going to need to deal with them in this turn. I really don't want to start it off with Rita. I don't really want to start it off with Hector either, so just looking at his chances of hitting. He's in some cover. We'll put him on Overwatch. Who else do we have? Quickie Baby. Yeah, he's in reasonable cover. Put him on Overwatch as well. Now, the Dragoon, the Spark. I could kick it off with his rocket launcher. That would hit all of them. At the moment, they don't know they're under attack, so they're packed up nicely. As soon as they spot my squad, they're going to split and scatter. So we're going to do that. We're going to put everybody else on Overwatch.
I'm on it.
And we're going to start it off with the Spark's rocket launcher. Oh, am I going to have to move him up? I think I might have to move him up. As long as they don't spot him, we should be fine. There we go. And that should also have the added benefit of stripping the armour off the two mutants. Good enough.
Position revealed.
And now it's on. But they're all now one-shot kill. So, Overwatch, do your thing. Hector. 1 down. 2 down. They're all down. Textbook ambush.
You know that was good.
That was pretty good, yes. And there's a promotion for Jingles. Right.
Menace 1-5, we just picked up an outbound signal coming from the UFO. It's some kind of distress beacon. You need to get inside that ship and shut down the signal before they send their whole fleet after us.
Okay. Now, we're going to stealth Rita up again. See, now this is the thing. When you're doing a UFO recovery mission, as soon as you make contact with that first patrol, the countdown timer starts. That distress beacon gets activated. So now I have 6 turns to get in there and shut down the beacon. And then I still have to neutralise all of the enemy troops. So now I need to move. Can't afford to hang around. I've got to get everybody into that UFO. And there is another patrol out there somewhere. But here's the thing. I can afford to use both of everybody's actions to get them up and stack them up on that door, because I've got Rita sitting there, stealthed up, my eyes and ears. I know that there's nobody in the immediate vicinity. If Rita hadn't been stealthed, and we had spotted an enemy patrol, they would have spotted us as well. So with Rita sitting there, I can afford to get everybody as far forward as I possibly can, ready to stack up on the door, breach and clear that UFO. Let's get Cirque on up.
Already there.
I'm not taking any chances, of course. I'm still putting people into cover where possible, because a patrol could still come around the corner of the UFO. And what you don't want to have to do in your next turn is move to cover and then engage. It's always better to start off in cover. Right. Second patrol still not spotted. It's out here somewhere. And I move Rita up to the door. And because she's still stealthed, I can take the risk of opening the door and having a quick look. Okay. Lines of sight there are not great, but we're going to put her on Overwatch. Just in case anything does
Good to go.
get spotted as Hector moves up to the other side of the door. And nothing does.
On approach.
Let's get the spark up. Spark's damaged, you may have noticed. Hasn't taken any damage so far in this mission, but it was damaged on a previous mission. Now, if that was a regular trooper, they'd still be in sickbay. But you can take a damaged spark into a mission with you. It's usually worth doing. Zircon, sniper. He's going to be of limited use inside the UFO. So we'll have him covering the rear. And now Quickie Baby.
Location confirmed.
Everybody's stacked up, ready to breach. Alien turn, still nothing spotted. And there's the console we need to move to shut down that distress beacon.
Menace 1-5, that's the distress beacon. Move in and disable it before the aliens get a bead on the UFO.
Still got 4 turns. Okay, Rita on Overwatch. Let's get Hector in there and back her up.
I've got eyes on Advent troops.
Uh-oh. And it was Hector who spotted them, and he's not stealthed, so they've seen him as well. They have not yet seen Rita, however. Okay. 2 mechs, and I think a shield bearer. And that heavy mech has a grenade launcher. And my troops are all clustered together, so he needs to get shut down. Hector sends his gremlin in. Yeah, 97%. I like those odds. Not too sure about the 49% chance of taking control, so we're going to play it safe and we're just going to shut this sucker down for 2 turns. Right. That's giving me some breathing space.
We've got access.
Really don't want that shield bearer to get his shield off, because that's going to make things a lot more difficult. Now, Rita is still in stealth, so I'm going to keep her in reserve if you like. The Spark's overdrive ability allows him to take 3 turns, and he can use those 3 turns to pull off moves that would normally end his turn, like firing his weapon. Now, normally you would never want to do what I'm about to do. I'm moving him to a spot where he's not in cover. But I'm planning on killing the shield bearer and that other mech in this turn, and that'll still give me another turn to deal with the heavy mech. So it should be okay. I'm contemplating using his heavy autocannon. Actually, I've upgraded it now. It's a Helix rail cannon on the shutdown mech. That would strip its armor, but the mech isn't a threat at the moment. Ideally, I really want to be taking care of that shield bearer, but I don't really have a shot from here. The Spark is not terribly accurate, so I move up to get a better shot at the shield bearer, and that's when everything goes horribly, horribly wrong. There's the second patrol. Okay, well, let's get the shield bearer. And from that range, not even the Spark could miss, so that's good news. The shield bearer's down. I don't have to worry about everybody suddenly gaining a shield. So, Jingles is set up on the second door. I can open it, and yes, I can hit the second mech from here. And it's not enough to kill it, but he has shredded its armor. So it's a one-shot for whoever else is going to shoot. Zircon. I'm not too sure about the lines of fire here, but we're going to set him up on a kill zone anyway. Quickie Baby does have... well, he doesn't actually have a shot from there, but I need to shut that second mech down because he also has a grenade launcher. Now he's got a very good chance of hitting it from here. But 100% with the combat protocol is better than 93% with his mag rifle, so I'm going to use the combat protocol and guarantee that thing gets shut down. And there it is. So, the heavy mech is still stunned for one more turn. Quickie Baby's earned a promotion, and the Spark is now in cover from the second patrol. But Quickie Baby isn't. Ah, shit. The muton fires. Oh, and it misses.
There's heavy fire in this zone.
That was lucky. Remember, however, Rita's still in stealth. The Viper moves out, and it's going for Quickie Baby as well, and it manages to snag him with a tongue attack. So Quickie Baby is now bound and stunned.
The power supply on this ship is likely to be a newer variation of the Illyrium core driving the Avengers systems.
The second Viper moves up, and that's when Zircon takes his shot. Come on, Zircon, don't let us down. Now, he didn't kill it, but he's using ammunition that sets his target on fire. So it's going to get a shot off, and it does hit the Spark, but the Spark has had an armor upgrade, and it now has 3 points of armor, so he took minimal damage. The Viper, however, is burning, so I don't need to worry about the Viper. It's going to die. I've also taken an ability for the Spark where anybody that shoots at them has a chance of being intimidated, and it just worked on the Viper. He's now panicked, and he's shooting wildly at anything that he sees. Unfortunately, he missed the Muton. So that Viper is going to die. In its next turn, it's going to burn to death. Now Rita, who is still in stealth. And all these guys are in range of a slash attack. No, not the Muton. That would be bad. Not that guy, because he's going to die. We need to free Quickie Baby. So we're going to kill that one.
Posición comprometida.
Good girl. Okay. Quickie Baby's free. And Rita is standing on the spot that she needs to be to disarm the distress beacon. Hector still has a shot. That heavy mech, however, is going to come off stun in the next turn, so we need to start doing damage to it. Combat protocol applied, takes about half of its health off. The Spark standing right next to it, he can't miss, so we use his heavy Helix rail cannon to remove its armor, or at least 2 of its 3 armor. That's now a one-shot kill for the next person to shoot at it. Jingles is up. He has a shot at the Muton, but it's not particularly good. I'm going to move him up. Yeah, it's still, you know what, screw it, plasma grenade. Need to be careful though, I don't want to hit Rita, I don't want to hit Quickie Baby, so if I launch the grenade to over there, that's going to hurt him, and it's going to remove his armor. And with Quickie Baby free, he should be able to finish the Muton off. Zircon's up. Oh, he's got a shot. He's got a shot at the mech. And it only has 2 health left. Zircon finishes the mech. And it's dropped some loot.
Target eliminated.
Now that was the Lightning Hands attack. It's free action with his pistol, so he's still got both of his moves up. And we're going to move him up and recover the loot. What do we got? Laser sight and a PCS. Good enough.
Target asset located.
So that leaves the Muton and the burning and panicked Viper. We need to kill the Muton. Quickie Baby. Good lad. And that just leaves the Viper.
Disabled.
What's it going to do? It's going to burn to death. And still alien activity. Ah, another patrol. What do we got? Muton and what looks like a heavy lancer or a stun or shock lancer. Okay. Does the Muton get a shot? It doesn't. It's Rita's turn. Okay. Rita, no, not the Muton. Muton's counter-attack. We're going to take out the lancer. Hopefully, she's going to do enough damage to take the lancer out in one hit. And she doesn't, but she stunned him for 2 turns. So either way, the lancer is neutralized, and we only have to worry about the Muton. Hector, up into cover. Let's shut that beacon down. The Spark can do that as well, by the way. It has some of the abilities associated with the Specialist class, although it's nowhere near as good. It doesn't have a very good hacking skill. So you really only want to use the Spark's hacking ability for things like this, shutting down beacons and terminals. You really don't want to be trying to take control of or shut down other mechs with the Spark. It's not very good at it.
Distress signal. Looks like the skies are quiet.
So now the time is removed, and it's just a question of wiping out the remaining alien troops. And these are probably it, this last patrol. Hopefully, the last patrol. I'm pretty sure we've taken care of the crew of the UFO. Move the Spark up. Target the Muton. Remove his armor. And also did a fair old amount of damage.
My weapon requires reloading.
That's the downside of the Spark, though. It only ever has 3 shots for its heavy weapon, and it's constantly needing to reload. Jingles, finish the Muton off. Right, just the Lancer left, and because it's stunned, I now have the luxury of deciding who I want to take the kill. Rita's standing right next to it, she can hack its face off, no problem, but ideally I want the Spark to get the experience because I acquired him later on than everybody else, so he's a lower rank, and he's the one that I want to get the kill and possibly earn a promotion out of it.
Now reloading. No life signs detected. Status confirmed. Mission accomplished.
Oh well, no promotion, but at least he gets the bonus experience. So the next time he kills something, he should get a promotion out of it, and manage to complete the mission without the Spark taking any further damage, so he shouldn't have to spend too long in the engineering bay before he's fully operational once again. And that, boys and girls, is the Spark Mechanical Combat Unit upgrade for your XCOM 2 squad in the Shen's Last Gift DLC. It's been out quite a while. The chances are that if you do play XCOM 2, you've almost certainly already bought and downloaded it and played it, but if you haven't, it's definitely worth the money. I've had a lot of fun. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, folks. Take care, and I'll catch you next time.